10 months ago, in June of 2022, I started the carnivore diet. A few months later, I posted a video on YouTube sharing all the amazing benefits that I got. I recommend everyone try it for 60 to 90 days. This diet is the #1 elimination diet people should try if they have chronic issues that they are looking to heal, especially for autoimmune illness. If you clicked on this video though, you're wondering, why are you stopping the carnivore diet then if it was so great? So let me explain. If you followed my channel since the beginning, you know that I am very open-minded, also very clear about my belief in not letting carnivore be something ideological. Dr. Hyman has an awesome quote: "Don't let your ideology trump your biology." I love that. I think it's really important, especially as Christians, that we do not get ideological about food. If it's serving you and you're doing amazingly well on carnivore, like 5 years in, then do it. Everyone is a different gender. There's 2 genders, by the way. Everyone is a different age. Everyone's hormones are different. When you get stuck in an ideology, then you're gonna get stuck, period, because you're not gonna be able to be flexible when things change, and everyone changes all the time. By the way, I'm outside because it's absolutely gorgeous here. It's in the 70s, and if you follow Ribeye Rach, she always sits outside for her videos, and I love that. This weather is so nice. I'm gonna do that too. Also, if you follow Alyssa Grubner, I think that's her name, she was a carnivore and she just filmed a video outside talking about how she was not going to stay carnivore anymore. And also Ribeye Rach. It's funny, I'll be the third time's a charm. So what prompted this? I read the book, or I listened to it on audiobook actually, Fast Like a Girl. I love this book and I really recommend it. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of it or even read it. I was so ignorant about fasting before I read this book. I'm sorry, and I always admit when I'm wrong. I know I was bashing fasting in some of my videos, and I apologize. I was getting that from Stephanie person, who I'm not following right now. I have nothing against her, but I think she's missing the very good argument that the problem with fasting usually is that women are doing it like men, and that's what's dangerous. And so the book goes into how women have to fast completely differently because our hormones are so different. Men's hormones are like, men are like the sun and women are like the moon. The sun every day, up and down, it's rhythm. Men have like a 24-hour hormone cycle. But then women have this monthly cycle that's just like, we're in a different place every day of the month with our hormones. She goes into not only the science of fasting, which was my favorite part, because once I understand like the science stuff, I'm like all in, 100%. As a Catholic, I deeply appreciate and respect the fact that Dr. Mindy, the author of the book, understands and looks into how a woman's cycle is so critical to understanding how to fast and how to eat. While I don't agree with everything, I am all on board with the general guidelines of this book. The fasting part made so much sense. Even the eating part and the different foods you should eat during different times of your cycle made sense. And I had always heard of this carb cycling or cyclical eating. I'd heard of it kind of in the background of my health journey, but I didn't understand it. And I always wondered, like, is there a book about that? Because I'm curious. She's also great because she's in her 50s, and so primarily she's speaking to women who are going through perimenopause up to postmenopause. And that's where I am right now. I've had an issue ongoing since around age 40 where my progesterone has declined way too much, probably way too early and too fast. My issue was that when I was told when I was 41 and I recently had remarried and we wanted to try to have a baby, and my NFP teacher was showing me that it didn't look so good on my chart. I was told to supplement progesterone because I was low. That sounds so easy, and many women can do that. And for some reason, due to my weird genetics, I can't tolerate progesterone, or I couldn't at the time that we tried. Tried different forms, and we tried the natural, the creams, we tried the synthetic. It was very bizarre how my body would react. It's supposed to be the happy hormone and it's supposed to make you feel happy, and I can definitely tell that I'm like beyond depleted in progesterone. I'll get to that later. Taking it had the opposite effect on me. Apparently this is why I couldn't take birth control pills for very long either when I was younger, because I'd just get so angry, put on weight, be very moody, the opposite of what progesterone is supposed to do. So I don't understand it. But I was pretty disheartened with that. experience, I kind of gave up on the idea that we would have a child together. That was hard. And then I let it go, and I thought there's nothing I can do because, well, frankly, I was in that system, the medical system, where it's like, oh, well, if you're not going to be able to take that pill, we don't know what to tell you. Meanwhile, how much further have my progesterone levels declined? And I'm 45 now. It's a problem. Now, I think the way I was able to get away with not worrying about it the last 2 years was that I was so hyped up on caffeine, being addicted to espresso and Starbucks, and I was on Zoloft, which I'm no longer on, and I'm no longer on all that caffeine. And so I think that was making up for the fact that I didn't have that progesterone in the right amount. Now, thanks to carnivore, I'm like at this baseline of like, okay, this is me. I'm not getting that dopamine hit from all the coffee and the Zoloft. It's now very apparent that my progesterone is extremely low. I want to have a baby if there is any way possible. That's why I have to quit carnivore, because she explains in the book there are certain foods that can help your progesterone levels and support progesterone and support the uterine lining. And eating those foods primarily like the week before your period and the few days leading up to ovulation are very critical for these processes. That sounds crazy. Like, really, if I eat sweet potatoes, then I can really get my progesterone levels up. I believe what she's saying, and I want to try it. I may try Young Living's progesterone serum again, which I used to use years ago, and I don't think it had such a bad effect. I think I'm going to try that again. Yeah, that's my priority, is trying to get pregnant and trying to get these progesterone levels up. The last couple months, it's been clear that that's going on, and the estrogen is consequently too dominant. I've gained like 10 pounds, and that's not okay, because I'm not having that. I started her fasting reset in the book, her advanced fasting reset, and it's 30 days, and I'm on day 9 today. I've lost 3 pounds, but I'm also doing Pilates again, like 3 to 4 days a week, which is kicking my butt because my core is so weak and I haven't done Pilates in like way too long. I'm eating how she's recommending, which is the week before your period and a few days up to ovulation, you're gonna add in extra carbs, 100 to 150 grams of carbs a day. And this is not bad carbs. This is squash, sweet potatoes, potatoes. I don't do grains. I'm not gonna eat grains. I love it. Fasting between 15 and 17 hours most days. I did one 24-hour fast the other day. You can start with her basic challenge, which if you're not used to fasting, you can do 12 hours to 15-hour fasts. I really hope to see some benefits from this, and I'd love to hear if some of you have read the book. 2 small issues I have with the book. It's very minor. She mentions masturbation at some point in the book as a activity that produces oxytocin. Kind of bothered me, but I can't blame her. She's not Catholic. I don't know if it's just me, but it's hard when you're listening to like all these like health experts and like you listen to podcasts and read things and you're like, this is such great information and these people are so awesome. They start throwing in stuff like that, or they start talking about in vitro fertilization or, you know, freezing eggs. That's when I go, I'm so grateful to be Catholic. The world is so crazy. Gosh, you know, it's such a beautiful thing to take care of yourself and to learn about science and health and the best things we can do for ourselves. And then it just turns so ugly so fast when people get so into the whole like, I'm gonna live forever and I'm gonna freeze my eggs, biohack, and you know, and then it just becomes this like idol. We need like a good podcast for like Christians that's like about health, but we don't take it to the extreme where it becomes all about that. Sorry for the tangent. The other thing I don't agree with in the book is like the massive variety of fruits and vegetables that she preaches about. I understand her argument is that that's what's good for the gut microbiome, to have the variety with the different gut bacteria and stuff, but I will never eat beans. I will never eat grains, and I probably never am gonna eat fruit except for possibly some berries that are locally and seasonally grown here for like a month or 2. I don't believe fruit is the same as it was. I think it's insanely frankified and like so much sugar. I don't really crave fruit anyway. Not that I have any cravings, which is basically what I love about carnivore. It totally gets rid of cravings. I'm all about some of the other things she recommends. Low oxalate vegetables, all about the kefir, the bone broth, the kombucha. I love kombucha as long as it doesn't have a lot of sugar. I'm a big fan. I have no problem with olive oil, root vegetables. I absolutely love root vegetables. I love potatoes. I love sweet potatoes. I think potatoes and sweet potatoes are moderately high in oxalates, so that's gonna be one I'm just having to take the bad with the good and see how I do. I love bitter greens. I love lettuces, but I would never touch spinach or kale. I love olives. All these things I love. And so I've been enjoying making salads with olive oil and mustard. I do like a mustard vinaigrette, which is my favorite. It's kind of French. And I throw olives in there, and I absolutely love avocados. I am loving this so far, and I haven't really had any bad issues. I will say another thing I'm doing to get rid of this estrogen is I'd call it a detox with milk thistle and magnesium. So every night I take 2, sometimes I'll take 1 of each, but that's been doing a really good job of just kind of cleaning everything out. Unfortunately for me, when I detox, especially the liver, it comes out emotionally as well. So a lot of crying. Another thing that I'm kind of excited about is that after over 2 months of being caffeine free, I have started matcha. I've always liked the taste of matcha, but I never appreciated the so-called benefits of it or the calm alertness that would last for 6 hours that everybody talked about, because I was always hyped up on espresso, so I never could feel the benefits of it. This is why I've changed my channel name. I think it's just more appropriate for me to have my name as my channel, like many people do at some point in their YouTube journey. So if that's not for you and the focus of my channel changing a little bit is not for you, then that is totally fine. I totally understand that. But if you're interested in following along on my journey, if you're a woman in your 40s and you're like, what is going on with my body and why is this so hard? I would love to have you stay here and go on my journey with me, what I'm eating and how I'm taking care of myself and how my goals are going. This is a crazy world. It's really hard to be healthy in this world, and it's also really hard to be a Christian in this crazy world. I know a lot of you are going through a lot of difficult things. I am as well. Our financial situation is just ongoingly horrific due to our custody battle that we've been in for almost 2 years. And that's not even to mention the emotional wreck that's been. I know that a lot of you have heavy crosses. I know for me, I get a lot of strength from listening to others and how they get through that. I like to hear what helps you, and I like to share what helps me. Perseverance, it's an intense thing. I feel like every day lately, I want to just drop my cross, and probably do sometimes. And then I know that I have to pick it up, and again, every day. It's so hard. So my next video will be my conversion story, which I've had a couple of requests for that, and that will be an intense video. I grew up New Age / agnostic, but I am excited about that. It'll be a testament to what God can do with the worst of sinners. If you are like me and you love a good conversion story, then I hope you will push the notification bell. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.